3 dead and several others have been injured after airstrikes in northwest Syria. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based war monitor, has said that the attacks killed 3 and wounded 4 more from the same family, including 3 women. The reports say that the airstrikes were carried out on the rebel-held city by Syrian government forces. This comes as a day after an airstrike by Russia killed 6 civilians, including a child, in the embattled opposition bastion of Idlib in northwestern Syria.
في حد هون؟ في حد هون؟ دفاع
Turkey captured the sister of slain Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in the northern Syrian town of Azaz. Turkish authorities are currently interrogating her and her husband and daughter-in-law, who were also detained. Rasmiya Awad, age 65, was detained in a raid near Azaz, a Turkish-controlled Syrian town near the border. When captured, she was also accompanied by 5 children. Spain's 5 main candidates arrive for a live televised debate in Madrid as 3 polls predicted a general election on Sunday is unlikely to break the current political gridlock. Neither left-wing or right-wing parties are set to win a parliamentary majority. The party of acting Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez will lose some steam to around 120 seats, with far-right party Vox gaining track and becoming 3rd biggest party with around 40 seats in the 350-seat House. Several thousand demonstrators banged on the kitchen pots and burned pictures of Spain's King Philip. Demonstrators staged a protest against a visit by the Spanish royal family to the capital that has been hit by weeks of separatist protests. Attended by King Philip, his wife Queen, also the 2 daughters of his, the venue was heavily guarded by police and had installed heavy fences and vans. Waving Catalan independence flags, some of the demonstrators yelled abuse at attendees as they tried to reach a police checkpoint. Hundreds of people protested in Spain's capital against a court ruling last week that cleared 5 men of gang raping a 14-year-old girl and instead found them guilty of the lesser charge of sexual abuse. Barcelona's High Court sentenced the 5 to 10 to 12 years in prison, saying the 2016 assault was not rape because the victim, who was drunk and unconscious, could neither agree to or oppose the sexual relations. The Azadi March continues as sit-in protest in Islamabad. They're seeking resignation of Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan and convening of early parliamentary elections. Pakistan's opposition leader Maulana Fazl-ur-Rahman has said that the protest will not stop until the demands are met, threatening to even shut down the entire country as their next move. The joint opposition are expected to explore further options for sustaining the momentum of the protests against the Imran Khan government. The options include staging a blockade across the country, with roads being blocked to all major cities. Thousands of Chileans are marching in the streets of the capital city, Santiago. They are demanding improved social services. Meanwhile, the government is saying that massive protests are diminishing growth expectations in one of the wealthiest countries in Latin America. At least 20 people have died in the protest, which started last month after the government announced a hike in subway fares. The protest movement expanded to include broader grievances over education, health services, and growing economic inequality. A teenage mourner was shot dead and several others were wounded in clashes between the Guinean police and protesters at a funeral march for those killed in recent anti-government demonstrations. Violence erupted as hundreds marched in the capital, carrying the coffins of people killed in unrest since mid-October that has shaken the poor West African country. Demonstrators have taken to the streets over suspicions that President Alpha Condé is seeking to prolong his rule. At least 5 people were killed as Iraqi security forces opened fire on protesters in Baghdad as thousands continue to gather in the largest wave of anti-government protests for decades. More than 250 Iraqis have been killed in demonstrations since the start of October against a government they see as corrupt and beholden to foreign interests.
شهداء هناك موجودين ما يقدر نجيب الشهداء
Protesters block roads in Beirut and other parts of Lebanon, pressing a wave of demonstrations against the ruling elite that have plunged the country into political turmoil at a time of acute economic crisis. A nationwide protest which were ignited on October 17 by a government proposal to tax WhatsApp calls led Saad al-Hariri to resign as Prime Minister last week. There has been no sign of progress yet towards agreement on a new government. As Hong Kong continues to be on the boil, a group of journalists conducted a silent protest at a regular police press conference. Following the arrest of 2 media staffers on Sunday, the police was forced to cut its live feed of the event after 2 minutes and had to cancel the press conference entirely after 20 minutes. Grenade blast rocks Jammu and Kashmir's Lal Chowk, even as the valley reels back to normalcy. 1 person has been killed and over 20 injured after a grenade was hurled at the security forces in Srinagar. This is the 3rd grenade attack in Jammu and Kashmir within the fortnight. Today's blast comes a week after 15 civilians were injured in a similar attack in Sapor. Several civilians were targeted at a bus stand. In another terror attack on October 26, 6 security personnel were injured when terrorists threw a grenade as well. Police have found 41 migrants alive hiding in a refrigerated truck at a motorway in northern Greece. The migrants are uninjured and the refrigeration system was not turned on. It all unfolded when the police stopped the truck on a highway near the northern Greek city for a regular checkup. They have arrested the driver and taken him and the migrants to the police station for identification. Hundreds of Oklahoma inmates who serve time for low-level non-violent crimes will walk out of the prison in the largest single-day commutation of criminal sentences in U.S. history. The Oklahoma Department of Corrections will release 462 inmates after the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board voted on Friday to recommend commutation of their sentences for crimes that will no longer be considered felonies if charged today. Facebook on Monday unveiled a new logo to represent the Silicon Valley company, distinct from its core social network. The move aims to highlight the Facebook brand, which operates a range of apps and services including messaging, photo sharing, virtual reality, and is developing wallets for digital currency. A new branding will be stamped on the family of offerings including WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, and other as well. And according to officials in Facebook, the new corporate logo is a way to better communicate their ownership structure with the people and businesses. As Delhi's air quality plummets to unprecedented levels, India's top court has issued a stern warning to both the centre and the state to immediately resolve the crisis. Delhi has launched a car system as it battles severe levels of pollution. From 4 to 15 November, only cars with either odd or even number plates will be allowed on the roads each day. Levels of dangerous particles in the air are at well over 10 times the safe limits. As North India battles severe levels of pollution, state authorities have deployed air purifiers at the Taj Mahal to save the iconic monument. The air purifier van deployed by the Uttar Pradesh Pollution Control Board has a capacity to purify 15 lakh cubic meter of air in 8 hours within a 300-meter radius. Pollution around the Taj Mahal has been a cause of concern for a long time as it has been damaging the monument, one of the 7 wonders of the world.